And at one point in time, they drew a distinction between the two.
Only when the white people got in it. Only when the mixed seeds started coming in.
I'm saying Nubia was Nubia before the white people came. I'm saying Nubia began to coexist as
wait a minute, hold on.
its own entity.
Listen, Nubia is southern Ethiopia, brother. Seriously.
Very well, brother. I understand that. And all the way up towards to the Mediterranean Sea, once upon a time, was Ethiopia. I'm with that. I agree with that. But I'm saying at a certain time, they began to break ties. They began to have two totally civilizations. That shit that let me finish, brother. The shit that they was doing in Kymyt, so-called Kymyt, they wasn't doing some of that shit in Ethiopia. They weren't wearing that makeup on their face. They wasn't on that shit. They weren't known for dressing like a man. I mean,
hold on, let me.
It's a certain thing.
Let me let y'all know the switchboard is gone, so y'all can't overtalk each other. Y'all one at a time.
Let me put this picture in here real quick, line.
Hey, before you say that, can I say something? I like to show what it was, and my conversation is totally different than what you was building up, and I want you to continue that, bro.
No, you good? We talking about the original Christmas right here.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Watch this. If you come to the 30th parallel line, right, go to, you know the cataracts, right?
I'm familiar. I'm not in front of my computer, but I'm familiar.
Cataracts, right? Now, the first cataract, you got the first cataract, right? Right above the first cataract, that's Shem, that's northern Ethiopia, okay, at 3100 BC, okay? Now, you got southern Nubia, which is southern Ethiopia, and that's below the first cataract. That's the third cataract, the second cataract, the fourth, the fifth cataract. Now, above that, above the 30th parallel line, right, you got northern Shem, lower Egypt. You feel me?
Yes, I'm listening, brother.
So, you know what I'm saying? You got to catch that. That shit can get real confusing. But it's the whole Ethiopian empire before the unification. So Nomar is an Ethiopian king. I kid you not.
I dig that. And I will go so far as to say he's a Cushite king. He's a Cush.
That's the thing. Ethiopia is the Greek name for Cush.
True that. But once upon a time, they referred to anybody with darker hue as an Ethiopian. Whether you was of Zulu, whether you was from Mali or whatever, these Caucasians used this term, and the people were so widespread and controlled such a great landmass, and once upon a time, they were all of the Kushite at once upon a time. But after a certain point in time, I'm not saying all of the people, I'm talking about in the area on the eastern side. On the eastern side. But I'm saying, come again?
No, go ahead. Only in just a future we want to kind of get into some like more dates because it'll bring more clarity. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah.
Dates don't exist, brother. But we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah.
Every time you see a day, you're gonna see another date to conflict that day. And I'm saying, if you look at any of those dates, they can't be real. Those are only barometers or tools we use to try to point close to a certain moment. But I'm telling you, all of that's wrong. Those are real dates. Can't nobody believe that was actually 31, whatever they call it. As millions, as old as the people are, as old as civilization is. You can't start there. You got to start at day one if you're going to count time. You can't start way up the ladder somewhere and then use BC. And I would like to say anything doing around 3,000, 5,000, as old as we are as a people, that's common era. That's only a thing from today. We talking about what, 7,000 years ago within 10,000 years? That's common era. So if you say before common era, or you use that term, that's fictitious. I'm trying to say, bro, the dates is wrong. That's fictitious, but I understand how we use them and manipulate them. But it's wrong, and we got to teach our brothers and sisters. It's wrong.
Yeah, and and a million of points, like you are correct. The whole 3100 BC, yeah, that's false. How, you know what I'm saying? However, when I did the research, you know what I'm saying? Like, my name is Sanjetti Punk. Wow.
Hello, brother.
Yeah.
I done listened to you a lot of times. Go ahead. I'm
All right, peace. Hold tight, brother. But see, the thing is, I think that you at least have to make the effort. You know what I'm saying? For example, I actually love. Pardon me. If you want to get the effort as far as learning points in time, instead of saying, and this is for future reference. I mean, we having our conversation here. You know what I mean? Someone may try to give a date, or say 4777 BC for some type of a reference. You know what I'm saying? Because we keep saying, we'll say things like, okay, one point in time, this and this and this and that. But if we don't, you know, at least use some type of a dating system, or when did this happen, a lot of confusion can occur. For example, when Brother Ankh, he was talking about what's called pre-dynastic, as far as dealing with Asiatics. You know what I'm saying? And he brought up many excellent points. And then yourself, you know, say you was bringing up points, but the time period that you were referring to was more relative to the time of the Hyksos during that period, which was thousands of years after the time that Brother Ankh was speaking. Both points were correct. It's just that all people who are listening may not have full clarity, because we're talking about two different points in time. That actually there's the gap
of points of events. Because time don't exist, and we keep going back to saying time when we reasoned events, occasions. We never reasoned time. You can't go and find one of those kings and find their birthday, because they wasn't reasoning what you call time and what you keep saying time. They was reasoning events, occasions. But that's beyond conversation. And I like to say, I'll go back on home and listen. Great show.
God, I'm trying to find. I got the Order Mayat package. What I'm gonna find is I'm gonna show you how our ancestors dealt with the cycles and how they marked time. So to our ancient ancestors, they thought it was a goddamn time, right? Yeah. Blow that shit away. We can just blow that shit away. Ain't no time. But our ancestors that lived in the region that we call Libya, Ethiopia, Egypt, they thought it was a needed thought, because they had calendaring systems. They had calendar, right? They had cycles and years. You feel me? So they thought it was some time going on. No matter what, we can come in and say ain't no time, but they thought it was time. And I'm gonna show you how they marked the first down.
Hey, brother up. You here?
I'm here. I hear you.
Hey, I'd like to ask the question.
Ngozi, hold on, Black Light. Ngozi, are you on there?
Oh, I hear y'all.
Okay, all you gotta do is put Chris in, and then y'all will be on. And
All
I'll
right.
read the phone out.
All right. Hey, brother up. I would like to ask the question. If these people, if they're reasoning, let's say we're going to use the word time. If they're reasoning these moments through a particular cycle, let's say 25,000 years, I'm saying, well, my question would be, is they would have to know what's a year, what determines a year, what determines a day, what determines an hour or minute. We're using these English terms, but you understand my point. And my point is, if they can reason all the way of a cycle, a 25,000 year cycle, they got to reason a 5,000 year cycle. They got to be able to reason a 2-year cycle. And my whole point in saying that is to say that with that being noted that they reasoned these cycles, somebody should have been dating the moments, the minutes, the seconds, the days, the weeks, the months, the years, to reach a 25,000 year cycle.
Yeah, I think that I think that kind of goes without saying. I mean, it's pretty obvious. So we don't.
Hence my point. It's not a debate. It was a question. It was just reasoning. No debate.
All right, can I jump in there for a minute? I heard what you said.
My point of that is to say, being that they was reasoning the cycles, who didn't reason the week or the month? Who didn't date it? They dated a cycle. A cycle is dated.
Right, we had
5,000 year cycles is
I know, but then